Since we've got a nice small group, I think you all can hear me okay without a microphone, probably easier. Let's see, we'll put this down. We've had a little sound issue, so sort of bear with us. But if we stay connected for the next 40 minutes or so, I'll make all of you a solemn promise. You will walk out of here with a couple of tips, tools, ideas, maybe some review to make future presentations to whomever you give them, to your patients and their families, to your interns or medical students or other learning groups, or to big meetings like the AMWA. After today, your presentations will go better than they've ever gone in the past. This microphone was going to play a funny music. I guess we have the sound plug in. Let's see if we can do it without. There we go. Okay, well, that was my grand entrance. Okay, why do you care about presenting yourself and your material? Why do you need to even know this? You're all on your way to successful careers, some of you in successful careers. What do you need this skill set for? Because the way you present yourself and your material either opens doors for you, gets you the fellowship that you want, gets you placed on committees, gets you the job that you'd like, gets you teaching assignments, or they find somebody else. So really, this is the career maker when you do this well. So, in fact, this is so important that I have been embedded into the Mayo Medical School. Every medical student takes a workshop that we put on. I'll try to give you a little example toward the end. Before they graduate, it's just pass-fail. I teach all our medicine residents. CS was in one of my presentation skills workshops. That's why she's running this meeting today, because before she met me and took the workshop, she could barely speak. Now it's a flourishing career. Look at her. And I teach a lot of our new staff. So why would Mayo Clinic put time into helping all of its colleagues present better? What's in it for Mayo Clinic? A brand. It's branded. Boy, where did she train? She's really, they must be good at the Mayo Clinic. So it's a win-win. All right. This has been so successful. I had the opportunity to put on workshops in all of these different areas. And I'd be happy to come to any of your programs if the spirit moves you to put on a real workshop where we do videotaping and group critiquing. So how did I get interested in this? You know, as CS said, I'm a general internist. Like most of you, if you're in internal medicine, you see patients with a variety of adult problems day in and day out. Well, back in high school, just a couple of years ago, I really haven't changed much since 1969, and I was asked to speak at graduation. And it didn't go very well. So I thought it couldn't be me, it had to be maybe the audience, they just didn't get me. But I went off to Rice University in Houston, Texas. And while at Rice University, I changed my mind on a lot of preconceived ideas. I also changed my appearance from entering Rice to graduating. In fact, a lot of people want to get a hold of the shirt and the glasses. They think if they hang out with young people, it'll really elevate their career. But while at Rice University, I had an opportunity to listen to another speaker. Maybe you anybody recognize the person on your right? Who that was? The late Muhammad Ali. When he was banned from boxing, he went to college campuses and spoke. He finished third from the bottom of his class at Louisville High School. But he was really a captivating speaker before pugilistic Parkinson's stole his voice. I figured if he could get good at this, maybe I could get better. So I took courses, I've worked on this, I've run a lot of meetings, I've read about, and it's from what I've done. It didn't go well. I want to share with you so things will go better for you. So today we're going to do, this is a bit of a didactic. I'll give you some tips on presenting yourself and material. And then what we do in our workshops is do a videotaping of each participant, a short one, non-threatening, and then we sit together and group critique, and we make it fun. And everybody learns a little something from it. And I'll try to give an example toward the end. My goals for today, I thought this was pretty timely. Let's see, I said put in a slide of the USA soccer team. But my goals today are to get your buy-in, teach you a few things, but hopefully motivate you to improve some of your own presentations to be a little differently from what you've heard in the past or seen in the past. We got good sound in the other room. I'll be demonstrating these skills to you, but after today, you'll never listen to a presentation the same. And I'm going to black the screen. Boy, she was good, but that other guy was really boring. That's not a critique, that's an opinion. A critique's a dissection. Why was she good? She smiled. She had energy. She knew that we were all at this conference to try to improve our careers as women, and she only touched on 3 important points, illustrated each with a story, and summarized it. She looked like she was having fun being at the conference. What was wrong with the other guy? Oh. He had a very thick accent, spoke in a monotone, very fast. I couldn't keep up with him. And he didn't know what we do. He spent 20 minutes talking about the diffusion coefficient in an autoclave. I was checking my email within 3 minutes, seeing if I got any email, and I tuned him out. So that's what goes well, or maybe not so well. Okay, body language. Have you thought much about your body language when you're presenting, when you're teaching, when you're in with patients? A lot of times we don't, but 60% of our interaction with each other is through body language. You all seen TED Talks. TED speakers use what we call an open posture. What do I mean open posture? What's an open posture? So, anybody?
It's kind of what you're doing right now, but you don't have your arms crossed. You're kind of standing firm, you're standing tall, using your arms.
Yes, nothing between you and the audience.
Yeah.
So that's closed, that's closed, that's closed. And really the ultimate closed posture is presenting behind one of these things. What do they call this? Yeah, everybody says podium, so you know it's probably wrong. Think of the Olympics. With the woman from the Netherlands, well, let's get the woman from Australia, please come to the podium to get her gold medal in swimming. That's the riser. This is called a lectern. That if they call you to the airport at the podium because they want to give you a better seat on the plane, don't correct them. Keep your mouth shut, take the seat, smile, and get out of it. But you will notice that effective speakers don't stand behind one of these lecterns because it steals their body language. A couple things about presenting yourself and your credentials. Wherever, whenever you speak, always include an email address. What's that tell your audience?
You're approachable.
Yeah, you're approachable. Why are people afraid to put the email out there? Yeah, spam, too many emails. Never abused in the professional audience. You rarely get anything, but when you do, it's pretty good. You know, we're doing similar research at University of Minnesota. Let's combine our data and publish. Or something like, what a wonderful presentation. We'd love to invite you to our conference in Australia, all expenses paid, so you can present there. When you get something that's good, you rarely get anything. Write your own intro. If you've ever been introduced somewhere, they often ask for your CV, your disclosures, and nobody looks at it. And immediately before you speak, somebody runs up to you they say, let's see, is it Jenny, Jerry, Jill, tell me about yourself. I got to introduce you in about 20 seconds. And it doesn't go well. So we recommend short, sweet, something to give you credibility on the topic to which you are speaking. Nobody wants to hear everything about you. Even our parents don't hear that. But it's got to be highlighting what you're presenting. So if I was speaking about cases from the anticoagulation clinic, like I often do, it would be NIH-sponsored for stroke prevention atrial fib trials, founding member of the Mayo Clinic Thrombophilia Anticoag Clinic. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Litton, who today will share cases with you. If you don't see this week in practice, you'll probably see next week. And then finally, what have I learned about the name badge? First of all, when you are presenting, lose the badge. It looks stupid. Nobody can read it. If there's a light on you, it reflects light. And anything on your person that is distracting will detract from your presentation. So when you aren't, get rid of it when you're presenting. But now it's time to meet and greet. It's the coffee break. Oh, can I borrow your food? Food, I'll borrow you, sorry. So I was always taught, wear the badge on the upper right. No, just shake hands with me. I don't fight. Okay. So this way, who can take a look and go, oh my goodness, Dr. Litton, that was the best presentation I've ever heard. And I go, this is a brilliant young woman, great taste. I got to give her a name. Where am I supposed to look? Boom. You know, and even if it's on the upper left, I'm looking over her chest. That's sort of rude. And for heaven's sakes, where are people supposed to look when the badge is down? This is a little creepy for everybody in the room. So you go to these conferences and they give you like it looks like this thing came off of an old tennis shoe and you're supposed to tie it around your neck and nobody, half the time they flip around and that kind of thing. I found that if you go to one of these, oftentimes you can re-rig the thing so that you can actually put it up here. I have a paper clip in my computer case. I just put a paper clip up here. I want to be known. I want to be remembered. I want to get invited again. So I like to have my name up there. It's a courtesy. It's a courtesy. Okay. How many of these have you sat through in the last 10 years? Other than this one, they can be very annoying. A college professor surveyed 1,000 students asking, what do you find most annoying sitting in PowerPoint presentations? Before I share with you what the students said, what do you all find annoying when you sit through PowerPoint presentations? Anybody, yell it out.
Reading the slides.
I'm sorry?
Reading the slides.
Reading the slides.
Too many words.
Too many words.
Bad formatting.
Formatted, terrible formatting.
Colors make it difficult to read.
Colors that don't work. You might have taken the survey, but I'll show you what the students said they could answer more than once. The number one was speaker reading the slides. Speaker reading the slides to you. Worse yet, facing the screen reading to you. Text too small. Now you know, that's called the point. You know how to adjust the point size of your letter. If you don't, the children next door will come and help you. But if you've got 15 lines on a slide, it's got to be tiny to fit. Have you heard about the rule of 5 or 6? No more than 5 or 6 lines, no more than 5 or 6 words, because we need not have our slides typed out in completely full sentences. I've made all these mistakes. I'm sharing it with you so you don't. Certain colors do not project. People love red. But red, you don't have to be colorblind to see, it really doesn't project very well. Gar Reynolds wrote a book, PowerPoint Zen. In it, he suggests cool color backgrounds, blue or green. Use white lettering, highlight in yellow or gold. That can be a little annoying. Now, I use custom animation appear, line by line, so you aren't reading ahead, but only appear. And you've never been at the presentation where the speaker said, oh, I must apologize for this next slide. I know you can't read it, but, and then they put something like that. Presentations are not journal clubs. Rarely do these kind of slides ever help you make a point. If you have to put a graph, make it small, highlight with maybe an arrow or whatever. I've got a couple articles that are on PDF. You've probably got my email. If you want them, email me and I'll send them to you. All this stuff is in there. But your header should be big, but text point type, books will say, oh, anywhere from 24 to 32. When you put a slide together next time, try to use 32 or higher. Because this is 24 and that's 28. And the bigger the lettering, the fewer words you'll use. I use a sans serif font. This one is Arial that I'm using. What's a serif font? Anybody know?
Legs.
Yeah, little feet, little doodads, little things coming off the lettering, like Times New Roman, a lot harder to read. And absolutely beware of what they call the laser moth. You know, when the speaker has a laser in their hand and they start doing this, and someone in the back of the room has a seizure, and you give your pose that you may have. You never need a laser on a word slide. That's what custom animation appear does. So you don't need a laser. Okay. Oh, and avoid what we call a slide unit. That's where the speaker puts an entire document in the slide because they may need this for the handout. One of our third-year medical students worked with a GI physiologist, and they studied these kind of slides. And if you stare at a slide like this for more than 40 seconds, it will begin to cause diffuse abdominal cramping, leading to explosive diarrhea. So we will move forward. Now, some people emphasize with a word of uppercase. I use color, just not the whole thing. Okay, when you go to a presentation, do you walk out saying, boy, I'm glad I spent the time there? Or you walk out saying, this was a total waste of my afternoon? It's likely because the speaker thought about or ignored the following presentation or the following tips. And these are the tips we look for when we videotape our workshop participants. The number one tip. The number one tip. Know your audience and meet their needs. It's not about you when you're presenting. It's not about how much you know or really what you're interested in. You must be thinking about the audience and what do they want to know or need to know on your topic. When I speak or when you speak, everybody is tuned into this FM radio station in their mind. WII-FM, New York City. You know what the call letters stand for? What's in it for me? When I speak or when you speak, just imagine the audience is asking 3 questions as they roll through their other material. So what? Why would I care? What's in it for me? If you answer that early on, it's called a hook. If you hook the audience, they want to hear more. We'll talk more about hooks in a minute. But here's what happens when a speaker is ignoring the needs of the audience and just going through a lesson plan.
In 1930, the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, in an effort to alleviate the effects of the, anyone? The Great Depression, passed the, anyone? A tariff bill, the Hawley-Smoot Tariff Act, which, anyone raised or lowered? Raised tariffs in an effort to collect more revenue for the federal government. Did it work? Anyone? Anyone know the effects? It did not work, and the United States sank deeper into the Great Depression. Today, we have a similar debate over this. Anyone know what this is, class? Anyone? Anyone seen this before? The Laffer curve. Anyone know what this says? It says that at this point on the revenue curve,
All right. We've all sat through too many of those. I've given some. But you won't if you're thinking about the audience. What do they want to know? What do they need to know? Okay? Organization is key. How long does the average audience give us before they make a determination if they want to listen, if they're going to go to the email, or if they're going to walk out? What do you think? What do they give us?
30 seconds.
8 to 30 seconds, not 5 minutes. So if you start talking about how wonderful it is to be here, and here's my objectives, and here's this, they've already tuned you out. So your opening statement has to be a hook. I'm going to black the screen. So, a couple of great hooks. The word imagine, or starting right away with a case or a story. So imagine if you're applying for fellowship, that there were 2 things to put in the application, which will take the acceptance rate from 50% to 90%. But before I tell you those 2 things, let's talk about the application process. Tell me the 2 things. Now I'm hooked. The other good thing is just starting with a case. In our institution, we do a lot of morning report. So maybe our medicine resident will start with the interns, and they do a topic and then go over cases. So if the morning report was on diarrhea, and let's say the chief resident goes, "Good morning. Today we're talking about diarrhea. Diarrhea was first described by Dr. Guy and Dr. Rhea in 1920. People are going, "Oh my God, take me out of here. It's the worst thing I could be." But imagine this scenario. Good morning. You pick up the chart of your first patient. 48-year-old woman, 3 weeks of diarrhea. Your heart sinks a little bit. You wonder, what do I ask her on history? How do I know if it's real diarrhea? Is there anything I need to check on physical examination? What about testing? Do I order stool studies? What do I order? Can I start empiric treatment? All good questions. And over the next few minutes, we'll cover all those. So if this is your first patient of the day, you'll be prepared. Whole different scenario. That's called a hook. Now they feel they want to know or need to know. You're not just going to pedantically talk about facts. Okay. In fact, speaking of facts, how many facts do people walk out of a traditional grand rounds recalling by the time they walk through the exit door? What do you think?
1 or 2.
Huh?
1 or 2.
Yeah. 0 to 3. 0 to 3. Why do we give presentations if they don't remember everything we say? Unfortunately, one of the reasons medical presentations are so often so dreadful is the goal of the speaker is often 25 facts in 25 minutes. We don't learn that way. If that's your goal, you'll fail every time. But you can do a lot with a presentation. You can teach an approach to a problem. You can review the literature. You can teach a procedure. You can get funding for your research. You can position yourself as the best and brightest in your area. But if your goal is 25 facts in 25 minutes, you'll crash and burn every time. Oh, that's the last slide. We're done. I saw a few hopeful looks, but that's not a strong closer. Neither is a picture of the new baby, your classmates, the Empire State Building, or a joke. A lot of people end with that kind of stuff. Total waste of time. For those of you that know anything about the Super Bowl, and a 30-second ad last year, an advertisement on that broadcast, cost $5 million. They end with the logo. They end with the take-home message. So I recommend you always end with these 2 words. In summary, people grab a pen. And if you only remember these 3 things, Please remember, boom, boom, boom. That's what they remember. So the words in summary, P. Concentrate on the delivery. Face the audience. In a perfect world, I'd have a computer here, but I didn't set up the room. But face the audience. Avoid the dreaded you don't know what you sound like until you listen to yourself videotape. That's what we do in our workshops. But you all have the ability to do this at home. You can practice in front of one of these iPhones and have the courage to watch yourself. It goes better than you thought. One of the things a lot of speakers do is they talk really fast because after all, they only give me 15 minutes to talk about their research project and I wrote a 25-page paper and I got about 40 slides and I think if I get through them really fast, I can go through. But the other thing is I get a little nervous in front of a big group like you and the faster I get to talk, the faster I sit down. What is the trouble with a pace like that? Huh?
No one can hear you or understand.
Yeah, you can't follow it. It's very hard to listen. Very hard to listen. And if somebody goes really fast like that, you tune them out. In fact, as captivating as I've been this afternoon, I know one thing for sure. You're all daydreaming while I'm speaking. How do I know this? Because I'm daydreaming while I'm speaking. It happens. But if I go slowly, you can weave in and out and not miss anything. If I go really fast, boom, out come the iPhone. In fact, speaking of attention span, on the 2015, May 13, 2015, Time magazine, on the cover was a goldfish. What they did is they checked the attention spans of a variety of different species. And they listed them. They did some fancy testing to do this. The attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds. The attention span of a human being is 8 seconds. So we can't even concentrate as long as a goldfish. So you really have to slow down and this sort of thing. And the most important and impressive speech technique you can master. The pause. To a speaker, eternity. To the audience, it's just a brief break. Just a brief break. And knowing that you have fillers like so, you know, and replacing with a pause is the cure. Every time you present to a patient and their family, to a teaching presentation, or a research meeting or a national meeting, it's a performance. Now, when I say performance, you don't have to sing, dance, show funny videos, but you have to connect. How do you connect with a new patient non-verbally when you want to appear friendly? What do we do? Non-verbal, huh? Smile. Absolutely. Yeah, come on, everybody, give me a smile. It looks like I'm talking to Mount Rushmore. Anyway, smile. Audiences want you to be successful. They want to be able to ask you a question at the end, but oftentimes speakers are frowning because they're trying to remember the 28th fact that nobody cares about anymore. If you can't be enthusiastic about a teaching point or treatment plan, who else will be? Hand gestures. Open posture, you don't just stand like this. Use your hands comfortably like you do when you're talking to friends and family. Don't worry about where your hands go. Just keep them apart. But you can also have purposeful gestures. You know they're making pacemakers the size of postage stamps. They can be tucked under the clavicle. People can't even see them. Stories are remembered, facts are not, unless they're tied to a story. In medicine, we have lots of cases, wonderful stories. Pictures are better than words. Anyone nervous when you present in front of a large group? Most people are. In fact, they've surveyed congregants at a funeral. And 80% of the people would rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy. Because public speaking is a frightening thing. But one thing, when you videotape yourself or go to a workshop, you will find anxiety doesn't show. They surveyed speakers and his or her audience. Rate yourself, speaker. Audience, rate the speaker. 1 is cool, calm, professional. 5 is shaking, perspiring, nearly incontinent. Most speakers say, oh, I was a 4. Audience rates them a 2. Biggest fear of the audience? Boredom. Or being called on when they're daydreaming. But if you want to look a little more professional, let's talk about some postures. So I'm going to wake everybody up. Stand up as you're able. You've handed me your intro. Let's see if I can do this without falling and breaking a head. I'm going to read your intro. There's your audience. So you're facing the audience and I'm reading the intro. Blah, 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 blah. Remember, you wrote this about yourself. You should be smiling. I'm making a judgment. Would I hire you? Would I put you in our program? Would I ask you a question? Now people want to know, so what do we do with our hands? We call this one the fig leaf. It's not particularly professional. This is the firing squad. And I tell the guys especially, get the hands out of your pockets. They're looking at you going, what is he doing down there? So we recommend stand, smile, hands at your sides. Just try it. This is only for the intro. Smile, hands at your sides. Don't they feel like blocks of wood? Heavy. Now, push your thumb and index finger together while they're down here. A little bit lighter, a little less. Remember, it's only a 30-second intro anyway. But then, when they say, okay, Scott, you're on, bring the hands up ready to use them. Why? We've had speakers that stand for 30 minutes squeezing their thumb and index finger so tightly the front row begins to see gangrene under the nail. Very distressing. Why above the waist? Well, we've had speakers that speak down here, and they look kind of silly, like seals or penguins or something. So don't just bring them up and then forget to use them at all, so you look like a T-Rex. All right, have a seat. Everybody stretched out, no DVTs. Sometimes your voice can get a little dry. You're nervous. I think it's the sympathetics kick in. So it's okay to have a little water, something like that to sip on. You probably don't want to slam down a carbonated beverage right before you speak. The bubbles could come up in the wrong time. That could be a little humiliating. All right. Eye contact. If I'm nervous, I want to make eye contact with someone who appears to be happy to be in the room. Not everybody wants to be in the room when you're speaking. Sometimes it's a sign. Or sometimes the person didn't sleep well last night, or they're ill, or worried about a loved one or a patient. But once you get your comfort level, make eye contact around the room so you're looking at different participants. But not too quickly, or you look a little shifty-eyed, dishonest. That doesn't go well. If humor is part of who you are, like I thought it was before I got here today, go ahead and use it. But if that's not part of you, don't force it, don't worry about it. But if you use humor, make it appropriate. What's the most appropriate humor we can get away with?
Self-deprecating.
Self-deprecating humor. So these are all the mistakes